Afternoons with Andy Potter on BBC Radio Derby.
Almost 2:10, it's time to talk to this gentleman. To be honest, he doesn't need a microphone when he sings that live. It's the opening song from his new tour, the Storyteller tour. Alfie Boe back around the country. We followed Alfie over the past few years on the afternoon programme. We even did a special on Alfie over the Christmas period with all the old interviews and cutting bits of them together. But I was allowed special dispensation to go backstage to find out what it was like when you're getting ready for the tours, which are getting bigger and bigger, last week in Nottingham. It was surprising what I found out.
First things first, it says Alfie Boe Catering on some of the doors around here. I just wondered if you'd expanded since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, and cooking meals for everybody as well as singing for the crowd. No, I think if that was the case, we wouldn't have a band. Would have fallen ill by now.
How's it going? Because the last time we spoke was about, Storyteller coming out, and then you were just about to go to America. How's it been? It's
been great. It's been mad. It really has. It's been non-stop. Since America, coming back from the States after the tour, then immediately going back there, probably 4 or 5 days later, to do the Moment Tabernacle Choir. Then my album came out in November, so there was tons of promotion to do. Then off to America and to do the choir thing, and then back again to do a bit more promotion on the album. Started to plan this tour. And it's been crazy. Went back to the States in February for another sellout US tour, which was cool. And then back again to throw myself into rehearsals for this. So it's been non-stop.
Are you pleased it's worked in the States?
Has it worked?
Well, it must have. You're telling me about sellout dates.
Yeah.
But you were nervous the last time we spoke about it, weren't you?
I am pleased it's heading in the direction that it is. I think we've got a lot more work to do to make it a real success, a huge success, but we'll get there eventually, I think. It's a big country to crack. I was watching the Grammys last night and I was thinking, it'd be great to be on there one day, but that's probably going to be not for a while, but you never know. We'll have to see how things go, really,
Well, we'll play this clip again when you do get on, just to point it out. This tour is huge. We last met face-to-face in Buxton at the foot of the stage. That's right, we saw you at the concert hall here last year, 18 months ago, and you were also doing the big arenas this time, aren't you?
Yeah. The arenas are something else. It's amazing to play to so many people. The first night of the tour, we were in Birmingham, and there's about 9,500 people there. And I walked out onto the stage and everybody cheered. And for a split second, I almost turned around to see if someone else had come on. I couldn't actually believe that they were cheering for me. I thought, who's come on? Who are they cheering for? And it was weird. It was very, very strange to experience that. But it's been wonderful. The following night we were in Manchester and again played to about 10,000 people. Thrilled. I love the bigger crowds, I've got to say.
So how quickly do you settle then? You've got that big applause, you've got that big cheer. Can you settle straight away, or does it take the first number to get it all evened out?
Pretty much when I walk on stage and start singing, and I feel it's sort of revving in the right direction, then it feels good. I'm pretty much settled by then and ready to take it full force in a will,
And the set, is it changing? Are you dropping stuff? Are you bringing new things in?
To be honest, we did a lot of that on the last tour because I don't think we were ever really satisfied on arrangements and on... I was never satisfied on arrangement, never satisfied on the actual structure of the show. But we've worked so hard on this particular set list that it really works. We've put certain things in the right order. We've got great endings, we've got great starts, we've got good segues into different songs, and so I think we don't really need to do anything to it to make it work, and which is nice. It's a change for me, that, because I'm always I always like to tweak a little bit here and there, but don't seem to on this.
Any special people turning up at all?
At the Albert Hall, I've got a number of special guests coming. Matt Lucas is not going to be around, unfortunately. He's over in the States. Got Jason Manford turning up at some point, Lord Melvin Bragg, Holly Willoughby, a few other people.
Are these all in your mobile phone then?
Yeah, I'm not showing you, man.
Back to my chat then with Alfie Boe just last week when he was in Nottingham. The only person, I think I am the only person who's been allowed to do any of the interviews during this tour, and it's interesting what you glean from the man. There's some really funny stuff to come. But before I went on out to do the interview, I actually asked online at some social networking sites and asked the people listening to BBC Radio Derby, have you got any questions for Alfie? And thank you so much if you got in touch. Even the Alfie Boe fan club and the people from around the world, Iowa, Australia, America, you name it, I got questions coming in. So I tried to condense them all and put them all across to Alfie with the time that I got with him. One of the main questions that people wanted to know was, when he's got his set organised, when he's got the concert organised, can he change it from night to night to protect his voice? Because sometimes he might be straining it when there may be a little bit of an underlying cold there, and he might want to move it to later on in the set. Is that what happens?
No, you can't do that. I think you just have to. The voice just has to build up its stamina. I don't like to modify a running order for the sake of how I'm feeling. I'd rather just sort of get through it the best I can and try and sing the songs with as much quality as I possibly can give them, really. But when you're on a run like this, they sort of slot into the areas that they need to be in. You know, the muscle control. Some nights it might be a bit harder to do certain phrases, but you just work through that and you just build it up and build it up. You know, the stamina is something that you develop.
And how's the family?
They're good. I saw my kids yesterday and my wife, and it is hard being on the road because there is such a separation and with family and work. And to be honest, I have to stay on the road. You know, even though I've got the opportunity of going home, it's a complete disconnection when you do. So, you know, when you go home and you sort of settle down with your kids and your wife, and you put your feet up in front of the telly and you light a fire and you think, oh, this is great, I can relax for a while. And then all of a sudden you think, no, I've got to go and pack my bag again, I'm leaving tomorrow. And so I'd rather be on tour mode, be on the road and not disconnect from it, because I think you'd sort of lose connection with the job a little bit.
Is it very difficult to switch off then?
Not for me so much anymore. It used to be when I was doing jobs. I used to miss it, and I used to sort of get quite depressed when a job was over, and I'd feel, oh, I really enjoyed that was cool. But now, because I'm always seem to be touring or working or travelling, it's always on to the next thing, looking forward to the next thing. And I think those times in between, you have to just relish them. You know, I don't have time to really get down about it or worry. I just sort of automatically switch off. I come home, I put my PJs on and my slippers, and that's it. I'm Alfie Boe, the dad again, you know.
Is this going to go on DVD, this tour, or you're trying things out here for the next album?
We are planning on filming the tour, so there will be a DVD out. And there are a couple of songs in the set that we've been that are really sort of like ringing true and setting a sort of direction for the next album. You know, there's 2 definite songs that I want on the album that are in this program. So that's two down. You know, 14 to go.
Yeah, and is the other half going to be playing tambourine on the new album as well?
Oh yeah, she'll definitely get on the album somewhere. I think might be the triangle this time. I don't know. I'd love to see.
Finally, it's nice to see. I mean, okay, you chop the hair a bit. You're going more for the Andy Potter look now. You see, 'cause normally it's down on your shoulders. Are you still conscious of image? Do you think that plays a lot of it?
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, it's very important, I think, to look right on stage as well as sounding right. But, you know, so many images do look right. You know, like Pavarotti didn't mind about his image. In fact, he made it work for himself, you know. You know, the lead singer of the Pogues. I mean, he's not the prettiest boy, but he makes it work for him, you know, and that's the sort of music and that's his voice, and it works, you know. Yeah, I think you have to develop your own image, because I think you have to develop, to an extent, a character on stage. You know, you become someone else. You know, when you're performing in your own show, I mean, I hate to say there's two different Alfies going on, but I think you have to disconnect in some way to sort of do what I do on stage. I'm flaying myself around all over the place and punching the air and screaming and all that sort of stuff. And so it's I do that with my kids when they annoy me as well. But I mean,
yeah, also by filming everything in later years, you can always embarrass your kids by saying, "Look, this is what your dad was like when he was on stage." Every time that we've either met or spoken, I don't think that we've never had a crossword. No, You've always been exactly the same as well. Are you more comfortable in this environment now with people turning up with microphones and having to go into a studio and talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for a while now. It's nice. It's a great opportunity to really voice your opinions on things and meet great people like yourself, mate. You know. So
bless you. I love that. Yeah, but I'm not going to be like James Martin that says, "Oh, and at the end of this, can you just sing for me as well?"
Yeah, that's right. That's the only downside when people ask you to do that. Sometimes, you know, interviews can be a bit annoying when you find an interviewer who hasn't really researched or hasn't really sort of taken time to think about the questions that you know. Not once have you said, "Can you tell me about the show? Can you tell me anything about what you're singing and all that sort of stuff? And what can we expect from the show?" I hear that question, man. Music? What do you expect? What more do you want? But you know, and then some guy was on gave me an interview the other week, and he said he was on the phone, and I was stood there in the middle of a hotel lobby with this mobile phone, and he said, I had another question somewhere. Where did I put it now? It's in a pile of papers somewhere. Let me just hang on a minute. I'm just going to rifle through these shoveling these papers aside, and said, "No, it's not there. No, I can't. Where did I put it?" And I just hung up. And that was it. And I just thought, but it's things like that you just think, "Oh, come on, get your act together," because you know, I want to build relationships with people that are in the press and try and put your sort of artistry across in so many ways, and it's important, really, you know.
As usual, it's been brilliant. I've just got my eye on all the fruit and you know, a bit of JD there and a smoothie.
Well, I'm in the middle of I don't know why, but I got into this. I got into juicing fruit. You know, this is a fantastic juicer, and I don't drink it. I just juice it. It's brilliant. I just spend hours juicing apples and grapes.
It's all part of Boe catering, is it? That's what it is. Alfie, have a fantastic night tonight, and we'll see you soon. All right.
Cheers, man. Thank you. Good to see you.
Radio Derby. It's great to follow a career as it starts to build and build and build. And as he said, if you missed it in the first part of the interview, there is a DVD coming out later on in the year of those concerts. And they were trying to get one of the things that happened on the night, because I stayed behind for the concert as well. One of the things that happened was he did some of his older Viennese numbers, the opera numbers, and they bring on two suites. I don't mean eating suites. I mean suites. I mean settees. And he sits on those and he's trying to get comfortable. And apparently they're going to film that for the DVD. But it's how he sits so he doesn't look too sort of lethargic or where his legs should be. And it's quite a funny sequence in the middle of the show. But no doubt, when Alfie does even bigger arenas and doesn't want to talk to people like me, we'll be able to look back on the interviews that we've had here at BBC Radio Derby. And thanks again for all your questions from around the world.